Hi, my name is Ron West. I've spent my whole career working with organizations on very large-scale changes. And what I'm doing these days is working on multiple changes, complete culture changes or large-scale software rollouts, such as we're doing at Farm Credit. And in that process, I've learned how to help people through a transformation process. In fact, I call it the transformation process. The idea is they select a card to try and represent what they see as the major obstacle to a change.
We had a picture of a guy with a needle sticking in his face, and yet he looked strangely calm. So I feel like the needle kind of represents the transition that we're going through right now, and if he's able to stay calm through that, then so can we, and we'll be better off at the end of it.
And the reason we start there is it's a chance also for everyone to begin to get vulnerable.
To start with, we had a card with a picture of an empty stadium, a bunch of empty seats. And we all realize that if we don't get this right, we're going to lose people within our organization because they're going to get frustrated. And then we had another card with a cellar of wine, and that's how we were going to deal with that.
As everybody in the room starts to share their individual view of what they see as the major obstacle to the successful rollout of FarmView, they get to understand each other. Even though we all look at this very differently, actually we can agree there are some things we can do to overcome the obstacles. The interesting thing about preparing for changes is we kind of get used to the way things are, and we do things habitually. In fact, most of what we do is simply a habit that we previously learned.
In the world of change, really what you're trying to avoid is falling headlong into the valley of despair, frankly, because you're really starting from a level of, well, I know my job. And whichever persona, whichever role you perform, you're pretty good at your job. You've been doing it for a while. Things change a lot, but change on this magnitude doesn't come too often. And what tends to happen is you can't do the job anymore.
One of the ways to get ready for this scale of transformation is to start to do some things differently. And I'll often give people that attend my workshops an exercise to perhaps drive home a different way for a week, find a different route each day. And of course, it won't be the most efficient, certainly, but it might be a prettier route. It might cause you to notice things you wouldn't have otherwise seen. Start to see and be aware of and very conscious of things that are changing around you. That's the best way to prepare for a transformation of this scale. One of the easiest things that you can do is to start to talk about what's going to be different. It's to start to have conversations with others about how you feel about that. It will lessen the impact of the transformation when it comes. To better prepare you for what FarmView has to offer us in terms of the ways that we can better serve our customers, which is really what it's all about.